So yeah, I'm just simulating here because I've already actually done it because I didn't press record on the camera, but just drawing around my template. Just cut it out now as close as you can to your guidelines. Here I offered the back to some scrap leather so I can draw out and cut out for a welt, because I'll be putting a fire steel hoop in, so the thickness will be greater, so I'm having to use a welt here. So now what I'm really doing is trying to find the exact centre of the piece. So I've just cut the welt to shape here, and what I'm doing now is I'm just keying in all the edges that's going to need to be glued down. Just tapping down all the edges now to make sure I get a nice level flat stick all the way around. Again, just putting a keying edge on all the surfaces that need to be glued. Now I'm just moving on to wet forming the actual top piece. This has been soaked, the leather has been soaked for about 20 minutes. All we're doing now is just suggesting the shape to the leather. We're not trying to put any big creases in, or we're just trying to get the general shape. So now I'm just going to fast forward this section a bit. I just keep offering it up, cutting some darts in to help the leather crease and fold. rather than delete this, I know it's in a couple of my other videos, but rather than delete it, I just thought I'd speed it up so you can actually see the process. I think that I was on this for about a good 20 minutes, you know, offering pieces up and trying to get some nice creases and edges without horrible nasty folds.
So Sean, have we got many questions? Question myself.
Yeah, I question that all the time. Yeah, we've got quite a few. The first one comes from Danny in Norfolk.
Oh, Danny, I'm based in Norfolk. Holy shit. Yeah.
And he asks if the doors kit available on worth buying.
Yeah, you can't just say the kit's worth buying. It's worth buying if it's good for its price. And it lasts, and some of the stuff is good, but some of the stuff is garbage. But that's kind of like any shop, even high-end shops. You go to high-end, you go to Nordic Outdoors and you find lots of good stuff and some crap stuff.
Yeah, it's a strange kind of setup in stores like Aldi and that have. They don't have a constant stock or something. It's very everyday bread. But there are some good gems to be found. I know a friend of mine who fishes a lot recently bought insulated suits, almost like overalls with a hood, which was absolutely epic, unbelievably well made, really well thought out. And it was only, I think it was 15 quid, which is ridiculously low.
Yeah.
When you compare it to other, mainstream brands and things, it's remarkably cheap. Things like, not just outdoors kit, but if you're looking for pots and pans for cooking on,
Yeah. Torches. You get lots of little LED torches and things, like you can do a camping thing. But just use your judgment, if it looks like it's going to fall apart, it's going to fall.
Yeah?
Say some of the stuff is really good. Like
Don't play with them then.
They're really good. But I've also had some stuff that isn't good, like I bought an SDS drill, which was rubbish. I bought a head torch, which fell apart. So it just depends. Some stuff's good, some stuff isn't.
Yeah. It's luck of the draw sometimes. You don't know what's going to be in store, and you don't know if it's going to be any good, because there's no kind of, if you go online and kind of see if there's a review of it, you probably won't find it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think they're definitely worth looking at if you're looking for bits of kit which you're not necessarily going to use a lot and you don't want to spend a lot of money on. They're definitely a good place to look. And it's often the case that you can pick up something far cheaper than you can go through eBay, which is a good kind of thing to look at as well. You're saving cash.
And they're good with returns as well. So if you have an issue, just go back and get your money back.
But yeah, I think anything your products at a good price that isn't going to break your bank balance. That's always a positive thing. And it's just making sure that you're round when they've got these offers on.
That's it. Thursday or a Sunday, make sure you're about.
Yeah.
That's when it's going it. So Sunday mornings, the pops are in it. I think the store near us opens about 10.
That's it. You just got to be in there first and look. Look at the likes of Facebook pages and their website, see what offers are coming up, and also they put up posters in the store a good week before. If they're doing a range. I know at the moment they've doing a big gardening at the moment, so there's not much of outdoor kind of, a supply of outdoor equipment there at the moment, but yeah, it's always worth looking at. So yeah, so that's all we can say, Danny.
Yes, mate, yeah.
But thank you for the question. The next question comes from Fraser, who lives in Scarborough.
Oh, Fraser.
And he asks us if we know of any app-based root card generator you can use for plotting routes and safety processes.
I don't, sorry, because it's not something that I've used. not in terms of doing root cards, but in terms of having an app-based variant. I could see the advantages because you could then send it quite easily.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's something that we've been asked a lot about in the past year or so. I haven't seen it actually going for you. I know there's apps and services that help produce a route card.
Yeah.
For example, the OS map service, if you plan out a route online through that service, they will give you a breakdown of each leg of your route, which is
If I
really
misunderstood the question, then is he looking for an app that will create the root card?
I think he is, yes.
Right, you know, because my thing with that is any computer is not going to be able to do some of the essential things for your root card, like escape routes and things like that, which
Yeah.
so if you're going across a bridge or whatever, you've got to think about if the weather closes in, how, if I'm going from A to B, how am I going to get down because I can't get to B, how am I going to get out of this situation safely?
Yeah.
And that's, I wouldn't want to be trusting some kind of algorithm to work that out for me. I'd rather do that myself and select the points. So if you had an app there, you can select the points that you want and your secrets, which then just produce it out in text. That'd be fine. But something that automates that, I think, would be a bit worrying.
Yeah. Well, what I tend to do is that when I'm doing a plan out a route, say for the OS maps, I download the links, all the coordinates and everything, the grid references, and then attach that to my digital paper route card. And then, if I want to send it to someone, I take photos of it with my smartphone, and then I email it or message them the image. And I keep that on my device when I'm out on the hills or out in the woodlands. So if I do get into trouble, I can easily just send, if I've got reception that is, I just send that route card to where I need to get it to. I prefer just to stick with the traditional kind of pen and paper approach, make sure everything's covered, and I'm never too sure when it comes to safety. You know, I'm never too sure of apps. I know there are many apps out there, and we've spoken a lot about navigation apps and things like that, but there's just something about them I just don't like to rely upon them 100%.
No, I think it's something that helps you.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to treat it as like a little bonus. You've got this little bonus there that you can use, but you still need to have, you know, your compass and map and be proficient in their use.
Yeah. And if you're new to creating route cards and you want to know what one should look like and what information you should be putting on it, the Duke of Edinburgh's award scheme website actually has a very good resources and downloads area. And in the expedition section, they have everything from notification forms, they've got route cards, templates, they've got safety templates, they've got all sorts of different guidance and advice that you can download and use to create your route card and also to make sure that you're filling it in correctly. We'll put a link into that page. It's very, very good. You can check that out and find out a little bit more about what you should be doing when it comes to route cards. And so hopefully that's going to help you, Fraser.
Yes.
If you've got any questions, more questions, you can also get the line and answer anything you want about it. Go with the traditional kind of route, using a route card rather than looking for an app-based solution. Right, the next question comes from Michael, who lives in Edinburgh.
Well, Michael.
And he recently watched my video about my Swiss Army knife challenge, where I speak about possible changes in the UK knife laws, especially in Scotland. And that's something that everybody kind of has to be slightly aware of, because with the Scottish election coming up, there have been lots of statements made by various parties about more restrictions coming in about knife laws, especially in Scotland.
Which is because of Scotland's knife crime. It's not
Yeah.
because they want to stand on people that are going outdoors. People have to put that in perspective.
Yeah.
Knife crime in Scotland is incredibly bad. People get badly injured and killed weekly in Scotland due to knife crime.
Yeah. And Michael asked this, is there any way that the outdoors community can appeal to the government against further restrictions? Well, it's very difficult to do because we've spoken about this before, where the likes of climbers and hill walkers have bodies like the British Mountaineering Council and the Scottish the Mountaineering Council of Scotland to enable them to lobby the government with regards to restrictions. And the bushcrafters and outdoorsers do this. We don't really have that kind of power. We don't have that money to lobby on our behalf. And it would take something like that to make the government actually just, first of all, just acknowledge that the conservative issue, and then go further to take an interest in what's being said. So we're a little bit powerless, and build something up like the DMC, for example, to work upon daily for that to come into existence, and for them to have the kind of clout we now have, and especially you see it especially now in the way they are improving access to the countryside and hill ranges and across England, because they have in England a different right of access. You know, they don't have the right to roam like they do in Scotland. So they have that kind of clout. We don't, and it's a very difficult position to to be in. We can't really say anything about it. You can obviously make yourself vocal in terms of speaking to your local politician, your local MP or councillors, but there's very little we have in terms of a right of appeal.
Yeah, I think what you've got to look at is the context of law, right, and how. So what we really need is not necessarily changing the law, because the law's there to put those criminals away that are causing big problems in Scotland. What we need is police officers to be more informed about the law and the use of knives outside, such that they can have the discretion, that they know the difference between a camper and a Ned. And the problem is with target-based policing is that it's very difficult to make that, especially for a new constable in a force, to make that kind of discretionary caution, if you like, or say that, you know, okay, that guy's camping. But whilst an old school cop would be able to quite happily go, right, that's a camper, that's a Ned. For somebody new, it's a case of, I need to get so many knives off the streets, and it's a different kind of way that we're facing. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. And the problem comes from things like police and budget cuts, etc. With the introduction of Police Scotland, there were massive budget cuts in line with that. And that then creates the problem that politicians want to see results. And results are figures, results aren't reality. And they actually have departments in the police whose job is to
hooks it out. It's another throw to United.
Super ball from Michael Carrick, strides across the halfway line, plays a trademark 25-yard ball into a forward's feet, sees things very quickly. Lingard on the half turn. United starting the brighter.
It seems to be an outball for Leicester City at the moment when they have the ball on the edge of their own penalty area and look to clear it. There isn't that ball into the channel for Vardy to chase down and to hunt high up inside opposition territory, and it hasn't quite stuck to the feet of the Argentine Leo Ochoa just yet. It remains 0-0. You're listening to TalkSport. The floodlights are on a grey day in Manchester. The ball's with Chris Smalling, who, according to Graham Souness, I read a couple of weeks ago, he's been made a better player by playing alongside Daley Blind at the heart of the Manchester United defence. That's something you agree with?
Yeah, he's very much a footballer, of course, Daley Blind. I like him in a more advanced position. We've seen him several times get the ball and triple quickly with it, but he's doing a decent job in central defence, an area that Manchester United will look to strengthen undoubtedly in the summertime.
Ball up towards Leo Ochoa, tries to chest the ball away from Blind, does well this time, that shows his strength, then runs into Fellaini, who's got a little bit more of that. Fellaini's tackle was mistimed according to the referee. I think he was coming in from the side, he's brought him down and given the free kick 5 yards back from the edge of the centre circle. 6 minutes gone, Manchester United 0, Leicester City 0 on TalkSport with Sky Sports, where you can watch all 7 Sky Sports channels anywhere you like with Sky Go on your compatible mobile, tablet or laptop.
It was good play by Leo Ochoa. Everything that you want from a central striker on the halfway line. The ball is played up to him with 3 or 4 red shirts around him. He keeps possession of the ball, draws the foul. He's going to have to do that a hell of a lot today. Like you say, he isn't the natural outlet where Kasper Schmeichel picks the ball up, drills it into the right or the left channel for a speedster like Vardy. To be a little bit more patient in their build-up today.
I haven't seen Riyad Mahrez yet at all. Manchester United didn't have to do too much defensively in the first half at Wembley last week, but they certainly had their feathers ruffled in the second, and they will probably have to be a little bit sturdier against the second best attack in the league. This is Fellaini though, at the other end, heading the ball down in front of the stretch for them towards Martial, cut out by Conte, and then cleared out towards the near side, and we can see Riyad Mahrez now sprinting down the right, trying to keep it in. Just couldn't quite reach that, skipped off the greasy surface, and just went out of play and away for a throw-in level with the edge of the Manchester United penalty area, deep inside their own defensive final third. And Marcus Rocco has the ball in his hands.
Still very willing though, and very able to pick that pass out 10 yards in front of their own 18-yard box, Leicester City, into the right-hand channel. Like I say, if Ochoa isn't the quickest at running into that area, Mahrez and Okazaki, they will more than make a nuisance of themselves.
Lingard making a nuisance at the other end, sends it out wide to Valencia, cuts back in onto his left foot, hits it with the outside of his right, towards Martial, the far post, and tucks it over past Schmeichel, and in. And Manchester United leads inside 7.5 minutes. Well worked out to the right to Jesse Lingard, who delivered the ball towards the back post, and Miss Rashford came through to Martial, who was lurking. He hit it hard and low, in at the near stick, beyond Kasper Schmeichel, and Manchester United lead by a goal to 0.
Absolutely top draw finish from a young man that's going to go on to very, very big things. Great play by Valencia there, the right-hand side, cuts in, outside of the right peg to the far post. And there's Martial, just leans a little to the left, gives himself every opportunity to open up his body with the right peg, through the legs of Schmeichel. Perfect start by Manchester United.
In European qualification, the hosts have won 4 of their last 6 matches, so confidence here is high. It will be a tricky team selection for City, with the second leg of their Champions League semi-final against Real Madrid looming large on the horizon, but the visitors are by no means certain finish. They can't afford to take the game. It's Southampton against Manchester City at St Mary's.
Call Collymore to come your way after the conclusion.
And I'm saying, right, okay, there's a fleece liner there for the sleeping bag, I want you to use that. And I've got a rabbit fur hat there with the hat on. I won't need any of that. I'm going to be fine. What are you going to have? Look, I'm fine. Trust me, my gear is rigged. We're in a tent rather than my swag or out in a bivvy bag. I'm quite comfortable. You just do as you're told. So he didn't. So in the morning he said, oh, it was freezing last night. I said, well, did you put the fleece liner in then once you were cold? No. Did you put a hat on? No. Said, right, okay, enough of this. This is what we're going to do. You're going to put the fleece liner in, you're going to wear that hat, and you're going to have the bivvy bag over the top just as an extra kind of layer. Next day, it was like, oh, it was roasting last night, it was brilliant.
So there we are. That's what I'm trying to say to you, is that it's about using all the techniques and that are there to you, and not thinking, I don't need to because I'm warm just now.
Yeah, that's it.
And the problem is, once you get cold, particularly if your blood is thin, it's very difficult to get you warm again. And it's highlighting this. This is a good point that we've got, and it was good that Sumo Dad was there to be able to highlight that point to people. Quite often, once you get cold, it's too late.
That's it. Yeah.
When it's too late to get yourself warm, you manage your layers so that you don't sweat, and it's about making sure that you get that the benefit of that heat without overheating. And I say most people there were wearing about 4 layers.
Well, yeah, it's that's a sensible approach to take, because then you can, if you do get too hot, you can take a layer off and then cool
Right.
down a bit. It's interesting because obviously the last time I went camping with Dad was 30 years ago. Probably over 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And back then he was very much, you've got to have layers on, you've got to do this, and he had a different approach. And it's just strange, well, not strange, I suppose it's understandable, you haven't been doing it for 30 years, that he had gone and forgotten the lessons he had taught us as kids.
No, that's it, yeah. But it's interesting how as well, we're using very different kit as well now, and we kind of like honing our kit. Like, for example, I wear a vintage wool lumberjack shirt, which you'll see in maybe some of the pictures and videos. So it's a checked black, and when I say vintage, that means it's second hand. It's a 70s wool top. Now, to buy something like that would be about £120 upwards, brand new, whereas I'm getting them for about 20 quid because no one wants them, because they're a checked lumberjack shirt.
Yeah.
But you're getting a really fine quality New Zealand wool, pure wool top. So with that, basically what I have is I have a layer underneath that, sometimes 2 layers, but generally I'll just wear a long sleeve t-shirt underneath that on the top. I'll have my Swazi 4WD trousers on, which are amazing, and my Harkila boots. So that'll be me for most of it. And then when it starts to get chilly, the Swazi jacket goes on the top, which is a Swazi smock. And that's just a thin smock, which I find really kind of breathable. There's different names, so I can't remember the actual name of this one, but it's like you get the Ridgeline Monsoon. The Ridgeline Monsoon was basically copied from this jacket, basically, and it's a cheap variant. So I find the Monsoon is incredibly sweaty thing to wear, whereas this is it's just a really good bit of kit. And I'm just trying it. It's the TAR, the TAHR anorak they call it, but it costs a hell of a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's with neoprene cups in it. Now, interestingly, that does lead on to a point that Sumo Dad said there was a guy on the Scottish Bushcraft group called Jim, who I never managed to get a chat with, who was asking about my Swazi gear and was going to catch up with me later. And I was asking, is Swazi gear good? And I have to say yes, it's some of the best kit I've used. But also someone there was wearing a Harkila Pro Hunter 2 suit.
Oh.
Which is one of my favourite bits of kit, which I wish I'd never sold.
Yeah, yeah. That is, it is an amazingly well made bit of kit.
Yeah.
And I often look at them and it's just the expense of it which puts me.
No, that's the thing.
We off
See, this is my point here, is that what I've achieved there. So I'm wearing some decent kit on the outside and things, but I was wearing, and I do wear a lot of second-hand woolen gear and things like that.
Yeah.
And I've got second-hand jackets and things. The jacket itself and the outer isn't that important as long as it's breathable. It's the woolen lumberjack shirt that I'm wearing is key, and also looking at the points of the headgear, using the wool watch cap for a tenner. You want to have something covering your wrists and your ankles. So either decent socks or a pair of high leg boots, a decent pair of high leg boots with the socks. So I'm wearing, I wear expensive boots because of a foot injury, but they keep me super toasty.
Yeah.
But it's staying on top of that. It's once you start to feel that you're going to get a bit cold on the verge of it, get the layers on, get yourself sorted, get your gloves on, do whatever you need to do. Do those drills, and you'll be good.
So everybody, that brings us to the end of another video. I really do hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. If you do, I'd really appreciate it if you give a big thumbs up down below. It really helps me to understand that I'm putting out videos that everyone is enjoying, and it will help the channel grow. If you are new to the channel, then please subscribe if you want to see more videos of me getting out in the woods and the rest of us doing camping and everything else, if that's what you want to see. For all my regular viewers, don't forget to comment down below if you have any questions or if you just want to say hello. I do try and answer every comment personally, as I do enjoy interacting with you. If anyone wants to see any more of me, you can catch me on Tuesday nights on the MTFU Bushcraft live YouTube chat, and on Thursday night for the Woodland Camp and Craft live YouTube chat. Both are streamed live at about 9 o'clock, so catch me there. Till the next one, guys. Bye bye.